So congee next. So congee is the way. So I'll tell you my version of congee, and then Jeremy will correct me. If I'm wrong. The way I understand congee to be, from every country I've been to in Asia, and it is everywhere, and I've researched this, and it literally goes from Japan, Indonesia, Philippines, all the way to Portugal. Believe it or not. I mean, I thought it went as far as Turkey, but it does. Kanja, I think they call it. And they're like, oh no, that's not congee, it's different. I'm like, what is it? I'm like, oh, it's rice cooked really slowly in liquid, it's like a soup. Thank you. So ultimately, it's a savoury rice porridge. Now, mostly Chinese people I've spoken to about this, they say, and again, just wait, it's a comforting dish. It's something that if you're sick, that's what you get. If you're hungover or drunk or whatever, it's that kind of, it's a hug in a bowl. It's that kind of dish. Very wet, very soupy, almost like a wet porridge. Now, in every country you go to and have it, it's completely different. So I've had it in Korea where it comes really oaty and like porridge, like it looks like porridge, but it has a selection of pickles on the side and some kimchi and different powders like dried mushroom powder or seaweeds and stuff like that.
Well, they have the pork floss.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. And then in Thailand, I've had it with just loads of fresh herbs, and then I've had it in, I think it was in Chinatown in England, but it was just a bowl of rice.
Is it breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or all of it?
Breakfast. It's a breakfast item. It's like a brunch item. But as Dan said, it's actually at home when you're ill.
Yeah.
And that's what we have. That's the only thing we're allowed to have. Yeah. Dry toast or porridge. Yeah.
I don't know if there's anybody from Italy here, but every Italian I've ever known has said pastina. It's like small pasta and broth or whatever. It's all those comforting things. For me, when I was a kid, it was eggy bread. My mum was trying to fat me up there. It's so anyway, so taking inspiration from that, the congee that we do at the restaurant, we only serve it for brunches, and it's not a traditional congee. That's the first thing. We serve it differently. It's thicker. It's richer. There's a common theme coming here. Put butter in the end and then we do it with crispy duck, or we do it with chicken, or even crab and stuff like that. The protein is kind of irrelevant, but we do loads of fresh herbs, fresh ginger, peanuts. It's almost like if congee met ramen. It's that kind of philosophy behind it. So yeah, that's basically what we're going to do. Now we normally take the rice. We'll go through it in a bit, but the rice with the stock, and you're overcooking it. Now I've learned a nice little trick, which so when we cook it, well, the Chinese are quite competitive, especially in a family. So my mum used to make us congee all the time when we were ill. We hated it, absolutely hated it. But just because she didn't make it properly. That's why. Yeah, butter, no confit duck in it. And then one of my aunties who actually makes really good congee, she soaks it in oil, or the rice in oil first. And what I was saying to Dan was that the reason why she does that is it almost sort of covers every grain of rice, so that when the liquid goes in, water goes in, or the stock goes in, the rice doesn't burst open too soon. And then later on, the rice, you'll see it'll just look like water, like sort of milky water and rice, very separate. But later on, it'll just burst out of that oil bubble. Yeah. And when it does that, it bursts open and makes it a little bit more silky smooth. And that's the reason why we put oil in at the beginning. And it does work, but it does take a while. So Dan was saying that sometimes they only cook it for half hour or so. We do it for about
half hour. We would cook it with the oil. We might cook it for a bit longer. So when you guys are doing it, you can work in sort of groups of 3 or 4 around the stations. Just make sure the veggies get their station right. When we do this, once you've got it to sort of on a rolling boil and got it going, and then we'll explain exactly how everything else is going to go. And then for the purpose of the class, we'll then take them downstairs to keep simmering away. And then whilst they're simmering away across the rest of the class, over the next hour and a half or so, it will really start to thicken up and start to burst out and give you that sort of nice silky finish. Yeah. But yeah, there's not much difference really. That's it. And when anyone been out to Hong Kong or China, you get your congee. We've got the Chinese donut. We've got in. It's all about textures. So you've got a thick porridge,
that you have a crispy donut that you can bite into with it, and the pickles that we've made that I'll talk you through later on. And again, they've got a crunch and a bit more tang to it. You know, it's all about balance of flavour, texture, and colour. That's what Chinese food is all about.